Hello everyone, my name is Shruti. My presentation today is to introduce a demolition of the final movement of Portuguese Setting Sonata. And I'm only going to cover 15 minutes of the 60 minutes lecture. That is learning complete rhythmic patterns of Portuguese works with activities relating to rhythmic beats. And at last, I will evaluate the whole class. I will also emphasize the introduction of in-class activities with the purpose of stimulating students' creativity and creating musical immersion. This is a 15 minutes course. It's divided into three parts: rhythm warm-up, music activity, and presentation assessment. This is a seminar for music major aged 17 to 18 with a small group of 6 students. The size is chosen because oversized group may make the teacher to feel to care for individuals' emotions and weakness. And also, if the size is too small, for example, 1 to 2 students, the interaction and the students' sense of participation in this class will be inevitably reduced. Equipment needed in class includes a whiteboard, a projector, some plastic cups, electric drums, and a set of piano. The whiteboard is used to show instructions for students or some question answered by students. The projector is used to play PowerPoint slides and some videos. Plastic cups and African drums are used to help students listen for the change. In reason, I will talk about the detailed use of speed listening later. At the beginning of the class, the teacher can use the piano to catch the attention of students. The reason why I choose 17 to 18 years old group as my students is that they may have developed knowledge of Portuguese works, but there is usually a lack of depth, or they have only heard of the name, but they have no contact with the works. If students are younger, they may even not be able to understand the modern music style. I will set the date on May 18th, the middle of the spring semester, considering students will be very impetuous at the beginning of school, and they will immerse in the relaxation during the holiday. During the middle and late May, students can adjust themselves to the right status and adapt back to their normal way of studying. At the same time, they are not very busy, which means they have enough time to consult for formal advice or read more literature. That, that is the reason why May 18th is chosen. Now, I will demonstrate the 15 minutes main part of my class. I will use in-class activity to eliminate students' anxiety and shyness. So that students can integrate into the atmosphere of learning. It's regarded as an interaction both in the warm-up and the later stages. To begin, the teacher gives the students two different rhythms, letting students get familiar with the rhythm pattern and leading them to cup hand to play the rhythm first. Um, Um, then, then the students are divided into 2 groups. Each group play a different rhythm at the moment, which encourages students to catch the beats. Then, the teacher can ask them to change to hand clapping, to body clapping, or other movements. For example, the 80th notes represent a tap on the shoulder. The 16th note is with a tap on the foot. The quarter note is with a finger snap. At this time, the students are allowed to move the desk and chairs away, leaving a space for everyone to connect the rhythm with the music. by using body movement, so that the students' bodies can find the sense of the music and move with the music. Moreover, these activities can also enable students to feel free to play. For example, to randomly combine different rhythm patterns and immerse themselves in it. The sense of the music is as important as important to a performer as technique. Students should develop appropriate skills in perceiving and responding to music. For young people in particular, this may simply mean playing a music game and reacting to the beat. This is called the body rhythm. Most of the students with poor musical sense can be reformed. It's an effective measure to improve their musical sense, to correctly guide them to realize music with the help of their own body rhythm. At the end of the warm-up, the teacher can create a melody for the form rhythm. The melody can be simple, but the important thing is to develop the student's ability of musical expression on ascending scale. For example, can be crescendo, and the multiple 16th notes can be lively. In teaching, according to the content and melody features of the music, it's necessary for the teacher to properly review the artistic image of music to students within the range of the student's perception, understanding, and technical level. Here, the teacher can give students a brief introduction and the practice of the body rhythm. The student responds instinctively to the music, using natural movement of walking, gesturing, and responding in space with precision and sensitivity. A quick reaction exercise is the most fun and often challenging. Students are asked to change their response at a given musical signal or verb command. Sometimes 2 or 3 different signals or commands are established. Okay. After the body rhythm activity, and then it leads to the rhythmic counterpoint in the second sonata of Prokofiev that we are going to learn in this class. First of all, we can see from the slide that the different rhythm of the left and right hand need to be played in the same bar. Here, the teacher divides the students into 3 groups. Ask each group to find a passage of rhythm from the Prokofiev second sonata to perform, within which two students will use some claps or clap to show their understanding of rhythmic pattern in the exact time. For example, 3 notes on 2 notes, students can use a hard and fast interpolation formula. But more difficult ones, like 4 notes on 3 notes or 4 notes on 5 notes, that don't seem to work that well. Therefore, students need to develop a self-perception of musical asymmetry. Students need to listen carefully to 2 different parts from both the left and the right hand and be able to play them separately without affecting each other. In order to improve the accuracy and to make the playing habit fixed, 2 students can cooperate at first. At the same time, 2 students play their own rhythm and listen carefully to the combined effect of the 2 rhythms. When the students have been able to play the rhythm skillfully and correctly, and the inner auditory sense and brain memory have been fixed, They can try to complete the whole rhythm pattern individually. So there is a constant connection between the hearing, the sight, the body feeling, and the mind perception. This method is not suitable for irregular rhythm counterpoint, but also suitable for more complex rhythm practice. However, such interactive classroom practice can be a challenge for teachers. Teacher needs to monitor the progress of students, otherwise it is easy to slow down the pace of the class. It's also a challenge to maintain the order of students in the activity-based class. Okay, the next step is to show and assessment. The student cooperative show can be the rhythm in the music or the rhythm combination in the warm-up activities. But it needs to be shown in interesting or novel ways. For example, the use of some musical instrument, or the use of desk and chairs in the classroom, or the sound of the students themselves. Um, Students need to enjoy in cooperation music activities and the learn of the music. In addition, the teacher can find some interesting short video or music performance to show to students as examples. However, there is no definition of standard, so we cannot deny all the ideas and the practice of students, especially in the face of students' innovation and creativity. The teacher should give more encouragement and praise. Finally, communication is also important behind any type of assessment. A teacher needs to prepare topics for conversation and keep the conversation going there, so that students have the opportunity for one-on-one tutoring. It is essential to listen to students' feedback. Um, only when teacher get to know those problems can they address them. Teachers' feedback help to tell learners to know what they need to do and what it means to be better. Okay, overall, when facing a complex result, it's necessary not to be panicked. Analyze it carefully and break down the practice. A long-term, a long-term training will enhance the student's sense of rhythm and music. But the cultivation of this sense of rhythm should not only stop a verbal level. Students need students need real practice and experience. The teacher is more like being as a supporter. So in this class, the teacher should make the student get involved and encourage discussion with using appropriate activities. In the end, the student will have a deeper impression on the knowledge they have learned. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the first question, I think this course serves as a connecting link throughout the semesters. Through the study of the course, students will have a deeper understanding of modern works and composers. Students will be more interested in modern works, and the focus of this lesson is a game of body rhythm. Rhythm training can help students enhance their sense of music and lay the foundation for later study. Uh, when students when students face complex or asymmetry rhythm in later course, They can analyze and deal with it by themselves. It can improve some ability about self-learning and self-problem solving. Secondly, the improvement of music sense can help students better understand the emotion that the works want to express, and the ability of music expression will enhance. In the future, when appreciating and listening to music, we can better hear the feeling that the musician want to express, and help students play this kind of emotion. Finally, after the students have a certain understanding of the work, and then add their own imagination, the work will have their own playing style, which form a complex work. But the training of the reserve is not enough. Students may not remember and apply it completely. So, in the later teaching, the teacher should review and train again. Okay, the next question. I think imagination is the foundation of creativity, and the creativity is the expression of imagination, especially for primary and secondary school students. Creativity and imagination is most abundant and unlimited period. Teachers as a supporter encourage students to speak out their idea and suggestions boldly and giving uh, affirmation and giving affirmation. Secondly, teacher as assistant. When the students face some problems and troubles, the teacher can provide some advice to help students. If some students don't have a great idea and creativity, teachers can show their own creative process or some interesting video to help students inspire some inspiration. In addition, the cultivation of creativity and imagination should not be limited to the classroom. Teacher can lead the students to experience nature and life outside the classroom. If the students have enriched experience in life and learning, they are able to express their true feeling. Um, Finally, the process of creation is a long time. Something in the life may become the inspiration of creation. Therefore, teacher can give students more time to think and observe life.